Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to be taking a look at a re-review again. I know I've been doing a lot of those lately, but I was requested to replace all the ones that I did with Tommy, and this was one of them. So we'll take a look at the Perfect Effect Scouting Force, also known as Reflector. And there he is in his in their camera mode. And yeah, it's a pretty cool little camera mode. It's got a little stand at the bottom, little chrome. I got the Repro label, so it's got the chrome lens on there, and yeah, nothing really too extravagant to show off here. His head just kind of sits out here as like the button. That one's the flash, and you can take the stand off if you want, and that's just a camera. All in all, it's okay. I still have the same issues with this thing as I did before, just because of the cost of this figure. This is like $80 to $100, and I think that's a lot of money for something this size. It kind of bugs me. I mean, especially when you think about Warden, who I've actually already packed up and shipped off, who's huge in comparison to him, and he's only like $60 more. So I don't quite get their pricing sometimes, and yeah. So yeah, that's really all there is to this mode. To transform him, you want to take the stand off, you take the lens off, you pull this flash off, pull this section here off, and then you want to pull these little tabs out, this one right here, and then this one here and this one here, and then this whole section comes out right there. So I mean, he's just essentially just one big parts former. So you take all those parts off, we'll move those off to the side, we'll focus on the actual robots. So you unplug all three, and what you want to do is you take the legs, pull them back, and then fold them down, and split the legs, pull the arms out and up, rotate the hands forward, so the arm goes out and up, rotate the arms forward, and then and there you go. That's all there is to them. And all three of them transform in the exact same way. So again, you pull the legs down and around, pull them down, split the legs, pull the arms out, up, and it locks into place. Do the same thing over here, locks into place. And one more time. Legs down, split, fold these up, and there you go. That's all three of them in robot mode. They're small. They're cool looking. Don't get me wrong. They look cool. Posability. The head swivels. It's actually on a ball joint, so you get a little up and down. Head swivels. Pretty good range of motion there. Shoulders on a ball joint. Get a good range of motion there. Elbows on a ball joint. Waist swivels, ball jointed hips, ball jointed knees, so good range of motion there, and then there's a little ankle tilt in there as well. So they are really, really posable for their size. And I do like them. Like I said, I mean, they look really awesome, but at the same time, they're really, really small. So for size comparison here, there they are next to the Seeker mold, and they come up just a little above his knee. And let me grab a Legends class figure. So here they are next to Bumblebee, and they're just a little above his waist. And here they are next to Rumble. I'd say just about mid-chest on him. So yeah, I mean they're really, really, really tiny. And again, I'm not sure how much I like that. I mean, I know there are smaller characters, but they shouldn't be this small is my problem for a Classics collection. I mean, I guess it really depends on how you want your scale. Because if you want alternate mode scale, these guys are way too big to be a camera for, say, like Thundercracker. If you're looking for robot scale, they should come up to probably about his mid-chest or so. So, yeah, they're really, really tiny. Now, for the accessories here, what you want to do is pull this piece apart, and then you just grab one of these guys and you can just clip this over his shoulders. So, and like so. So now you got his little shoulder pads. This you want to collapse together, and then it just kind of locks in. There's little grooves that everything will fit into. And that's pretty much all there is to him, or to that. This piece, you want to pull this out, and then pull this off. And then again, you can just take one of these guys and you just clip it over his shoulders. They kind of come like missile pods type things. And then with this, what you want to do is you plug this piece in here, and then you can fold out this little handle here. You can fold that piece up in here like so, and that'll become a minigun. This section here, you want to pull this little piece out here, pull this little piece out here, and then you can take this and just fold it out, pull out these guns, and then here, and then from here, what you want to do is you want to pull the knife out from in here, and it has this little sheath for it. Do the same thing over here. Just slide that in like so. So yeah, it's all really, really tiny parts. I'm going to take this piece out here, this piece comes out from here, and then you can pop the other knife out. I'm using the knife to pop the handle out, and then just pop this in here like so. And then you fold these pieces up, flip out the handle, and there you go. Lots of little tiny pieces. So for this guy, you can plug this piece onto his back, and this will form like a hover pad or hover thing, making him really back heavy. And then you take the minigun here and you can plug this into his hand like so, and this piece here can plug into his other hand. They're really small, so they're giving me a lot of difficulty here. So now you got that guy good to go. Oh, and then you can take this knife here and just plug it onto his back here. And then he's got a little knife. And they can hold the knives if you want them to. So, or maybe you can't. I never actually gave him a knife before. Yeah, oh, there it goes. Barely fits into their hand. But you can store them on the back. There's just this little peg at the bottom here that just slots into this little slot right there. And then you can take this little shield here and clip it onto his forearm. I like to do both of them on this guy. Of course, it's giving me difficulties here. Go. Now he's got two little mini shields here, and then give him two of these little blasters. Like so. And then for this guy, what you can do is flip out this little handle again, and you got to get it not all the way tucked in, but not all the way up, otherwise he can't hold it. And you gotta put his hand in there, and then you can rotate it around. That'll be a big shield for him. And then you can take this gun here and plug this piece in here, and then this piece can go right up on top here, making it more of a rifle. And holds it in his hand like so. And then this piece will plug in to the back. And there you have them all armored up. Now, still, I mean, they're really small. The parts are, they're part formers. And you get a little difficulty with getting some of the parts to hold on because they're so small. Honestly, I like the set. They look cool, but I'm still not impressed with them. I think for the cost and you know, I think the cost is too much for this set. If it were like $40-$50, something like that, then I would recommend it. But being $90 to $100, I don't think I can recommend this. I'll give the set 5 out of 10. The reason why it's that rating is because I like I said, the cost is too high. The figures are great. They look awesome, but the cost is way too high for these little tiny guys. I can't see it. I can't see it being worth it. Even if it were like $60, then that might be worth it. But I'm really not that happy with this set. And I actually decided I'm going to sell them. So I'm putting them on eBay now. By the time you see this, they'll probably still be up there, but getting close to the end of their auction. But ultimately, I think your money can be better spent elsewhere. I mean, for the cost of this set, let's see, that's $90. You could get. Let's see here. Let me grab another third-party figure. So this guy's about the same cost. He's not the highest of quality figures, but he's the same cost as this set. And right there, I mean, you can see a problem right there. Even like I said, even though his quality is not the best, his size in comparison to them, I mean, there's no question. Yeah, if you're at the store and you're like, oh, should I get a Legends class figure, or buy a, Voyager class figure like Grimlock? Even that's not right. That's not even accurate. Okay, just imagine if you're at the store and you got a Legends class figure or a Masterpiece Grimlock, and you decide, and they're the same price. I mean, if this wasn't a third-party company figure, it wouldn't even be a question on if it was worth it. I mean, those things cost $90. Metroplex cost $100. Think about that for a minute. $10 more and you can buy Metroplex, and he comes with a Legend class figure that's bigger than they are individually, anyway. That's huge for me, because when if you have limitless funds, then maybe it's worth it. But I can't see it, so I have decided I'm selling them. I'm going to try out the TFC Photron. Once this sells, I'll use that money to buy the Photron guy. And see if I like that better. I know the design isn't as cool because I really like the way these guys look. Like I said, if they were small deluxes, then I'd be perfectly happy at that cost. But they're not, so meh. But yeah. Like I said, I'm going to put them on eBay. I'm going to see if I can get some money back from them. Part of my whole cleaning house on companies, and I am writing Perfect Effect off. I like some of their stuff, but they're a parts forming company, and I'm not a huge fan of parts forming the way they do it. Sometimes it works out, but these guys, they're so small and fiddly. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't want to say they suck, because like I said, they look really awesome. I just wish they were bigger, if they're bigger in parts formers, then I could do it. Or if they're really cheap. If they're really cheap, then I could be okay with this idea, but they're not. They're essentially $30 a piece. So, let's see, $30 figure. What do I have? That's a $30 figure. Oh, here we go. Here's a Squawk Box from KFC. And usually I don't recommend that company either because some of their stuff's crap. But you get 2 cassettes. And these guys are actually pretty decent little cassettes. So you get 2 of these guys for the cost of 1 of those. So there's something to really think about there. I mean, when you really think about worthwhile when it comes to third-party figures, and of course I just clipped my fingernails, so I'm having a hard time here. Go. Just try and transform these guys real quick. So, I mean, you get 2 cassettes. They're about the same size as these guys. Not quite. But you get 2 of them for the price of 1. $30 gets you 2 deluxes nowadays for Hasbro costs. Let's see, who else was $30? Oh, here's another great one. Really put it in perspective. So, let's move some stuff out off to the side here. Okay, so one of these guys is $30. The set is about $90. So here's another set that came in a set of 3. That was $90. So the figures are essentially the same cost as each other. Unique Toys Sharkies. This figure here costs the same amount as that. I'm gonna flip them over to robot mode real quick so I can show you that too. But I mean, if you think of it in cost like that, I mean, is there even a question? I guess that'll be my question of the day. It's like, what would you define as worthwhile when it comes to cost on a figure? I mean, are you looking for something that looks cool? Like these guys, I mean, they do look cool, but they're really expensive for really small figures. And I just, I don't know. It bugs me that they're so much money for such little toys. Okay, so here's Robot Mode Sharky up against one of the Perfect Effect guys. Okay, so he's half his height. and not even close to the bulk. There you go. That's my perfect scale right there. These guys cost the same amount of money, and they're both third-party figures. I cannot sit here and say this is a good purchase when you, for the same price, you can buy 3 Sharkies. I can't recommend them. You know, I'm gonna go to I can't recommend them. They are too small to be worthwhile, and TFCU Toys ones are bigger, and they cost about the same amount of money. So take your pick. Do you want little guys or decent sized guys for the same price? Even though the decent sized guys aren't quite the same cost. Yeah, hell, I mean, fucking Masterpiece Grimlock was only $60 in Toys R Us when he first came out. So he cost the same amount as 2 of these guys. I mean, I guess that's it. There you go. What are your thoughts on this? You know, what's your value on price on third-party figures? Is this worth it to you? Is it not worth it to you? For me, it's not worth it, and that's why I've decided I'm going to sell these 3. So, and try for Photron. And if that doesn't work, then I'll just go with I'll do a alt mode scale and buy a few of the shrapnels when they come out, because they come with the little Target Master reflectors, and those guys you can hold, regular robot can hold. So anyway,